Today we need to get into apparently JK's brother posting something about V and what that is about. We also have apparently Dispatch posting about him and his dating and what that's about. And then lastly we have HYBE ending V's promo. So hey dumplings, it's Dave. Decide hate it or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Make sure you join us fangirling on Patreon with some free content on Saturdays now, and let's go. The label doesn't promote anyone, and I'm talking about the conversation that is going on within the solo fans of each of the members of BTS. So for example, if you're a fan of V, you probably would think that his work is not getting promoted enough and that the label is not helping. This rumor has gone on so widespread that there are people who are saying that he is unappreciated in the label and the label doesn't do anything for him. Now recently there was another rumor going around saying that Jimin isn't being promoted enough, and the premise of this is that his song came out and all of that stuff, and apparently it didn't perform as well as people were expecting. And then people were saying that this is the fault of the label. They're not promoting it or putting it on TV or posting about it more, whatever it is. Now, I have a few things that I want to say about this, but one in particular is just how odd these people who say these things are. Because if the album or song performs really well, suddenly the boys didn't need the label. They should leave the label. The label sucks. And if the label does promote the artist or Jimin or whoever and they don't perform as well as expected, now it's because the label didn't promote them properly, which is interesting because then if the community comes in and tries to help Jimin out by putting out posters everywhere or calling radio and doing whatever, then suddenly it's the label not doing their job, but the community is the one doing the job. And even if the singer flops after this, it's not even that the community failed to promote them, it's that the label did a bad job. So either way, it seems like a lose-lose for the label. People always tend to push the blame on them. Now, I've mentioned this before, it's really difficult for a label or any promotional tool to push something when that person isn't active. For example, if I left for a year or however long I would leave for, it would be pretty difficult to grow this page or to get people to watch the videos if all I'm doing is reposting old stuff or re-editing old stuff or having one or two pre-recorded things. I don't know the psychology behind it because it technically shouldn't matter, right? If an artist is leaving but then their music is still new and people haven't heard it before, it should have the same hype around it as if they were around. However, I say should because that doesn't ever actually happen. I think the psychology around this is that people know that the artist is gone, and so when they see a post saying an artist is releasing a new song, they tend to not be as interested because they know that that artist isn't really going to be around to push it. I don't know. And I don't know exactly what the performance of this song is. I don't actually know what the metric is and why people are saying it performed poorly. But if people just aren't relating to the song, then it just doesn't do as well. This is evident because you'll have artists that don't have a hit in years, but they put out one song. That song goes viral on social media and suddenly everyone is talking about it and it blows up without the artist having to have done any additional work. The specific song that Jimin put out just didn't have the same impact. Now, we as a community might like it and enjoy it, which I do, but if you're going to face it in terms of reality and data and numbers, then it probably didn't have the same impact. And the number one rule for promoting something, whether that is running paid ads or whatever it is to make sure that it's over content that is already performing really well. So people are saying that this song is not performing well, then it makes no sense for the label to then put money into it to promote this song that's already not doing well. I know it sounds like a good idea when you're thinking, oh, well, if the song is not doing well, then put money into it and make it do well. But that's only if you care about views. If a song isn't doing well and isn't, let's say, selling as much, and again, I don't know what Jimin's numbers are, but I'm just going by what people are saying, but if it's not selling well and you were to put more money into it, it's still not going to sell. It's just going to be a money pit. That's why when you see a song do well, it suddenly does really well and it's everywhere, versus when a song doesn't do well, it's literally nowhere. Pretty common practice in the world. And people were also saying that V wasn't getting any promo, as people like to say that V participates in payola or that his music had. And then other people like to come in and say that he's never gotten any attention from the label. Now, there's been a lot of rumors and ship wars going on recently after Jimin and JK announced that they would be having their travel show come out. Now, of course, if you're unaware of the fan culture and shipping culture around Jimin and JK, then we have to talk about it, and it's a bit of a huge controversial topic because there's another group of people that believe that V and JK are dating. As you can imagine, the people who think that Jimin and JK are dating hate V, and those who think V and JK are dating hate Jimin. So of course the community has gone into flames after the travel show was announced, and a lot of people have been attacking Jimin. And other people have been saying some pretty weird and odd things. Now, Dispatch is a news company that reports on dating rumors. That's really what they're known for. At the beginning of every year, they put out a dating rumor from a couple that they believe was dating from the year before, and they kind of expose that relationship. Now, I personally don't know if Dispatch has a contractual agreement with the BTS label, as they've never pushed anything or wrote anything involving BTS. So I think that that's very interesting. But some people were bringing up the fact that Dispatch has often referred to V and JK as Taekook as their ship name. Meanwhile, they refer to JK and Jimin as two separate names. So some people like to say that Dispatch is aware that those two are not dating, but that V and JK are dating. And again, these are just some crazy, wild theories. I think one of the reasons why Dispatch may choose one ship over the other is just because one ship might be louder than the other. And Dispatch is a news site that specializes in telling the news and needing their news to come up first when people search things. So the popular phrase, Taekook, is going to get them right at the top of searches, and they know that. I've also mentioned V in another capacity, as they have seen him, or they believe it's him, on JK's brother's Instagram story. Apparently his brother posted a photo of what seems to be camping in an RV somewhere in the forest, and a lot of people felt like V was the one that was in the photo. As you can see, some hands and fingers, and that very much appears like V's. This is still speculation and just a theory. This is backed up by nothing, but people seem to have their speculation and believe that this is actually V. Now, some people are saying that it seems like V and JK's brother are in a relationship together because it seems like he posts V and his hands a lot. Now, in case you're not entirely caught up on who JK's brother is and that whole situation, then let me explain. The brother is much older than JK, and he served time in the military, and I believe around last year he actually got engaged. So the person that we are seeing in the photo could likely just be his wife. Now, V has very soft hands. He's not someone who probably does a lot of labor work with his hands, so he is probably going to have softer hands. Maybe he has rougher feet because he dances and stands a lot, but his hands are probably going to be softer because it's not like he's lifting things or holding things really hard and developing those calluses, which he might actually have now that he's been in the military. But since the last time people have seen V and his hands, they have basically seen them be thinner and slimmer and really soft and smooth. So they think that JK's brother's wife's hands is V. However, thinking that it's JK's brother's wife actually makes a lot more sense. I found this particular rumor or theory to be very strange because I just woke up one morning and there were tons of posts that everyone was filling in their own story on what they want it to be. And this is absolutely hilarious because I think that it's kind of odd to assume that potentially JK's brother's wife's hands to be V. Like, I don't know how he would feel about being compared to having a woman's hand. And obviously there's nothing wrong with women's hands, but I would imagine that a lot of guys just wouldn't feel happy being compared to having women's hands. I think the community likes to fill in the blanks, and they like to fill it in with their own narrative. Since they think that JK and V are dating, I think that they just want some sort of family thing to happen, so they're now thinking that JK and his brother are dating or spending a lot of time together, and I don't know if this is even true. I don't know if I've ever seen V and JK's brother hang out, and that's not a bad thing, and that doesn't mean that they hate each other, but a lot of friends don't hang out with their friends' siblings, and a lot of my friends have never hung out with my sister or my parents, and that's not really a bad thing. That's just how it tends to be. I would imagine that a lot of my friends and my sisters don't have anything in common, so they're not going to have much time together or want to even be together. And that makes sense because what is JK's brother? He's not a singer, he's not any of that stuff. What is V going to talk about with him? Now, let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks, this little bit comment right here. Love you, bye.